Gainsville. What a beautiful little town you are. Weather is a pleasant 23 degrees this morning, a little bit cooler, more to my liking. Noticed some things happening with the van last night, or this morning actually, due to last night's activity. It's something we may want to consider when planning. This vehicle, the Ford Transit, it does its best attempt at telling you how much mileage you have before you run out of charge, like most electric vehicles. And it calculates based on your current movements and of course the state of charge of the battery and so on. The gauge that we use the most when we're driving, I'll show you here, is this one here. It shows basically how many kilometers we have left down here. That's our range remaining and what our current consumption level is. This is the one that can throw you off. We like to keep this in a sweet spot. You know, when you're driving, don't use too much power, and on the highway, you're probably doing, in this vehicle, 32 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. But what I found last night, when I got in this one this morning, this one was reading like 90 something kilowatt hours. And then it slowly dropped as we were driving. Because we were parked all evening and had the AC on all night, this one was not reflective of our actual consumption. So what we had was a kilowatt consumption of 99 kilowatt hours per 100. And it's because we had the AC on all night and the vehicle was technically running. So essentially all night our energy consumption was infinite number of kilowatt hours per kilometer, but because we weren't moving. So it skews the figures. So I think if you're ever in a vehicle like this and you're using it as a van camper, you're going to want to turn off that vehicle in the morning and then turn it on, and you can't even reset your consumption meter to show from that moment forward rather than previous to that. It was a little bit strange this morning to see that figure so high, but once I turned the vehicle on and off, it straightened out, and now it's showing a pretty reasonable consumption. So we're going to go for a walk on this trail, have a little look around. There's a lot of cool stuff here already. Spanish moss is not Spanish or a moss. Why the name Spanish moss then? That's what I wonder. Anyway, let's take a look around, see what's on this lovely trail on a lovely day. Please do not feed alligators. Maintain a safe distance. I intend to. Lots of warnings about alligators. This is, I guess, an alligator-proof boardwalk.
True, you like that.
Fencing on either side. However, if one starts to chase you, you're not gonna, it's going to be a race. We've got a little bit of time before we hit the road, so we're going to enjoy a nice walk around this park. We have so many places to hit before we head back north in the cold weather. We're trying to enjoy them as fast as we can. We really have a jam-packed few days ahead of us. This is not a statue, I promise. He is really focused on something. Trees are amazing there. Okay, some AC. First thing on the menu, AC. AC. Okay, how's my hair? What hair? Cool off a little bit, and let's go ahead and check out Gainsville. We're at the Gainsville Art and Food Festival. Art and food that way. More art and food that way. More art and food that way. And guess what's up that way? Food and art. Lots to look at here. We miss our dogs at this point. How long has it been? Almost 3 weeks. Nice husky there. I'm not sure what this guy is. They're beautiful.
If you live in the United States, I'm sure you're familiar with Buc-ee's. We've never heard of Buc-ee's, but we saw this one on the highway and had to go in for a look. Absolutely massive. I've never seen so many vacuum cleaners in one place, or so many gas pumps. Outrageous. It's just so busy. And the inside, well, you have to go in there at least once to have a look around. Really quite something to behold. And they had quite a few electric chargers there as well, so. But I think once was enough for me. Really, really busy.
So this is a Typhoon Pro plug adapter. Really easy to use. Yeah, I kind of broke it a bit. Probably my fault. I think one thing you should do when you buy these things, maybe a good idea to read the manual. And I didn't quite understand it, but made some mistakes and had a hard time disconnecting it and cracked a little piece off there, but still works just great. The way this one works is this end here will plug into the Ford vehicle, just like a regular charging cord. And now this receptacle is there for the Tesla cable. And plug this one in first, then plug the Tesla cable in and initiate the charge. Once that's going, it's like any other charging session. Works just great. To disconnect, though, is a little different. You don't disconnect this one from the vehicle right away. The first thing you'll do is disconnect the Tesla plug from this end. So in order to do that, you push down here, and what it does is, this is important because there's a little tiny clip down here. I hope you can see it. And a little tiny, when you push up here, it pushes a release and makes this drop, and you can pull out the Tesla charging adapter. Then you push it again, and it, at the same time, it lifts this end, and that will allow you to remove it from the vehicle. And away you go. So it comes in a nice case. It's around, I think, 250 Canadian. So that's going to be just less than probably 175, 150 American. And very sturdy unit, well made. Other than me doing that little bit of damage, it's working perfectly. If you're going to be using a Ford vehicle, you need to use this adapter or one similar in order to be able to access Tesla supercharging. And if you're driving long distances, as I see it right now, the Tesla supercharger is the way to go. Seems to be the best price. They work, they're fast. They can charge right up to 100% virtually, and works really well. I'm pretty satisfied with it. So I'm going to put this one back in the van. We're in a town called Sonoya. Just landed here. The rain has stopped. It's a little bit cooler. Back to hoodies and pants, which suits me just fine. It was just too hot down in Florida. And now we're going to go around. This town, Sonoya, Georgia. You may not know it. I didn't know it. My wife pointed it out. This is the area where most of the filming for the Walking Dead series took place. So we're going to have a little look around, see if we can find some evidence of that, and maybe see a few of the highlights here. Nick and Norman's. Guess who Norman is? Walking Dead. Norman Reedus. The guy on the motorcycle. All right, little fella, let's get you back in the van. This is going to be super. Where's he going to go? Where is that going to go? Maybe right here. Anyway, it's going up there somewhere. Okay, so I've got it out of the box. There it is. What do we got? Royal Baubles. Okay, all right. Let's see. Where can it go? I could put it there. I love it. Oh my gosh, I think that would drive me crazy driving down the road all day long. Or would it?
Yeah, you'd have to put it in the middle.
Or I could put it over here.
What about here?
Put up here, but there's not really
You
enough
need to put it on
space.
that side there so it's not.
Or I could put it over here, yeah.
There's best.
A bit of Velcro to hold it on so I could remove it. Look at the head going. That is hilarious. Yo, Glenn. Poor fella. I hate it when he was killed on the show.
Negan got him, I think.
Negan got him. Yeah, he really got him.
Yes.
Negan and Lucille.
Lucille.
So when I bought that bobblehead, I was telling the checkout lady, young girl, I said, I'm not the biggest fan of The Walking Dead, but it really just about destroyed me when I saw Negan kill Glenn. It was a complete shocker. I think she yawned through it. I think she's probably heard that a million times before. So anyway, it was a pretty cool scene, I thought. This is not Disneyland, but oh my goodness. It's hard to believe this area is real. It's just stunning. Forgot something. Got to put on my shades. Get off these ones and put on prescription sunglasses. I thought we were finished with the high temperatures, but as soon as I packed away the summer clothes, we go into town and the temperature goes right on up almost to 30 degrees. Whoa, that's a nice looking van over there. There's lots of those down this way. Custom built. Oh yeah, Storyteller. I've heard of those. Fantastic. We're in Chattanooga at a downtown park, taking a break. We've been driving all morning and shopping. There's a couple things I want to talk about this trip. But first, we're going to head up on this bridge. There's some pedestrians up there. So we're going to try to find the end of that bridge and some way of getting up there. One of the things that keeps popping in my mind about this trip is, what kind of trip do you want this to be? What kind of trip do you want your van life to be like? On the way down here, it was mostly freeway driving, very fast, coming down the East Coast, higher speeds, constant charging. Now we're going at a much more relaxed. We're further west. So we're going up through Tennessee, less toll roads, a little bit slower, going less miles every day. So this is something that you need to consider. If you're going to be a van lifer and you want to use an electric van, it's something to think about. Because if you're the kind of person who's going to go across country and you have to be there tomorrow, you're going to struggle in this van. You're going to be spending as much time charging as you're going to be spending on the road. And that's not something that's pleasant, really. How far are you going to go each day? If you're only going 50 kilometers a day or 100 kilometers a day, it's one charge. And sometimes you can get a couple days out of that. But if you got to be there for a wedding Friday night and you're 1,000 kilometers away, you're going to have a long day ahead of you. So we need to consider that always. But this day is so relaxing. We're just going to go up on that bridge and have a lovely little walk. This is a very big bridge for pedestrian traffic. Makes me wonder if it used to be for vehicles at one point. Trying to come up with a good title for this art exhibit. I'm going to call it The See-Through Horse. What do you think? Another day is winding down. We finally found a nice place for supper. It's a beautiful park in town, not many people around, and all these amazing statues there to wander around and look at and try to figure out just what were they thinking when they made these things. Pretty cool though, and all for free, which I like.
We're going to stay here, have something to eat, relax for a couple of hours, and then find a place to park the van for tonight. There's not much left to our trip now. One more trip up around Scranton. You know what that's famous for. And then we're going to go to Dollywood and a few more surprise stops, and then we'll be back in Canada and it'll be time to summarize our trip. Thanks for joining us, and we'll hope to see you on the next one.